are gently closed. The breath is coming nice and slow and steady. Let's just give ourselves a chance for these first few breaths to arrive to this space, to allow the mind to clear just a bit and bring our attention, our focus to the here and the now. And so I would invite you just to pick a rhythm of breath that feels right. Just breathing in and breathing out and finding comfort where you are. And I have a question that I want to frame our time with for these few minutes that says, what would it be like if I could accept life, accept this present moment exactly as it is? We talk a lot about the present moment. We make it the focus of our meditation time, but just ask yourself this question. You don't have to answer it. Just ask yourself, what would it be like if I could accept life, this present moment, exactly as it is? And then I want to follow that up with some more questions. And again, don't worry about the answers. Just kind of let the questions and the ideas that they conjure up, let them just sit with you for these first few minutes. How could that acceptance change my outlook? Just ask yourself that. If I could learn to accept life just as it is, how could that acceptance change my outlook? And then how could this acceptance bring peace and calm to my life? How could this acceptance bring peace and calm to my life? And then the final question, how could this acceptance actually begin to increase both my physical and my mental well-being? And I pose those questions to you, not so much that I want you to try to answer them, but I pose them almost rhetorically. Because when we can learn to truly find acceptance of the present moment of life as it is right now, it will change our outlook. It will begin to nurture and develop peace and calm in our lives. And over time, it truly will increase both our physical and our mental well-being. And so I want us just to sit here together and kind of notice some things about us. And then we're going to move into an idea of acceptance along the way. But for the first just little bit here, just notice. Notice how the physical body feels. From the jaw and the shoulders down the back to the hips and the knees and all those troublesome spots. Just notice. Notice how the physical being feels. Are you tired? Are you energized? Are your shoulders kind of slumped down? Are they lifted up tall? Just notice the totality of you as a physical being. And then notice your mind. Are there fluctuations? Are there agitations? Are there whirlings of activity going on in your head? Just notice. And y'all, all of those things are happening right here in this present moment. You know, we sit for meditation in whatever way feels good for us, and then one part of the body begins to grow restless. And I've heard people say that they just kind of force their way through and ignore the pain or the agitation in the physical body. But that's not acceptance, y'all. Acceptance is that when I'm sitting here and all of a sudden one of my knees begins to get a little achy, I adjust. I'm accepting that my knee needs something and I've got a solution for that, and I adjust. The same thing about our physical being. If you notice that you're really tired, the way to accept how things are in this present moment is just to validate. I'm tired. I got an hour less of sleep today because of the time change. or I had a lot of activity working in the yard, or I haven't been sleeping well because I'm worried about something. Don't try to change it or get frustrated about it. Just accept it and be okay with it. Today, I'm just tired. And then the same thing goes on in our head. You know, we show up to meditation and we do try to quiet our thoughts. We do try to come really present and focused. And then those fluctuations come. And we feel tension building up in our bodies as we think, oh, I'm trying my very best. Why won't my mind leave me alone? But instead, what if we just learn to accept it? Just accept the fact that in this moment right now, I've got a lot on my mind. And to try to just shut it off would be counterproductive. But rather, I'll use my meditation time to show up and be present and accept whatever comes up. If you want to increase your physical and your mental well-being, stop fighting against the things that we notice in each present moment. For some of us, we've done that for a lifetime. But that's not what the present moment is intended to be. It is intended to be a moment of amazement and wonder and awe of this breath that's filling up our being, and how all the systems of us know exactly what to do so that just the right things can be released when we breathe out. We need to look on those things with amazement and wonder and awe. If we really want to increase our physical and our mental well-being, we've got to stop fighting and resisting the things that we discover in each present moment. Now, that does not mean that there are not things in life that need to be changed and transformed. We know that to be true. But the present moment, it doesn't need to be changed. It doesn't need to be transformed. It is perfect just as it is. The breath is coming into your lungs. It is filling you up with vibrancy and life. And it's holding on to just the right amount that you need so you can breathe out the rest and bring life to the trees and the grass and the flowers around you. Those are the things in the present moment to look upon with wonder and amazement and awe. And I think when that question's being asked of what would it be like if I could accept life, accept this moment exactly as it is, I think that's what it's referring to. It doesn't make us complacent. It doesn't mean that we have settled. It means that we look upon this life that we've been given with wonder and amazement and awe. And I'm not the kind of doctor that can make medical promises, but I am the kind of practitioner that will tell you that when you begin to do that, your physical well-being will increase. Your sleep will become better. Your personal relationships and interactions will be richer. The colors that you see around you will be brighter and more vibrant. And your mental well-being will begin to feel those frayed edges beginning to soften. All it takes is acceptance. So I'd like us to practice this together, and we're going to do it with our breath. Sometimes when we breathe together in meditation, we're very intentional. We want a slow, steady breath in, and we want a full, steady breath out. But instead, I'd like us across these next couple of minutes that we've got to practice acceptance. Just allow your body to breathe. Rather than you attempting to control or making it voluntary, just let the body breathe. And for these next couple of minutes, we're going to practice accepting the breath as it is. If your breath is deep, way down in your belly, and that's what you notice, just accept it. If your breath is a little shallow and it's kind of landing in your chest for these couple of minutes, just accept that's where it is right now. If your breath is a little rapid because your day's been really busy and stuff is still kind of hanging on, just accept it. And if you notice yourself trying to change the breath, just pause. There's time where we need to be intentional about how we're breathing, but for right now, let's just practice accepting. Just let the breath come and let the breath go. And let's continue that acceptance with whatever's going on in our minds. Let's not try to control the thoughts. Let's not try to let them drift away. Let's just be witnesses. See what patterns of thoughts are popping up in your mind. See what things you're being reminded of. Or if there's nothing, notice that too. And again, just like we didn't control the breath, let's just watch and witness what's going on in our mind and accept it just as it is in this present moment. And then we'll continue to sit together with our eyes closed, getting ready to close out our time. Acceptance. Sometimes it gets a really bad rap in our world. It gets a really bad connotation that if we're accepting something, we're just settling. We're just allowing something to happen. But I'd like us to frame this word as thinking of, we're going to stop fighting against things. We're going to stop resisting. And maybe the most important, we're going to stop criticizing. Because acceptance in the present moments means that we let those things go. And I know every person listening to this wants better physical health and better mental health. And so just think, if I could stop the resisting, if I could stop the fighting, if I could stop the criticism, what would that do to my physical health and my mental health? I'm here as a living testimony to tell you it will make them both so much better. Your rest will be more restful. Your awaking moments will be more vibrant. Your clarity of mind will be clearer than you've ever imagined it before. All because you're beginning to practice this acceptance that this is the moment right now. Breathing in, breathing out. And I accept it as it is. Give yourself grace and compassion going into these next couple of weeks. Lots of things going on energetically. We lost an hour of sleep today, if you want to call it that, but we gained a little sunlight. And then going into next Tuesday, when the spring equinox comes, you're going to feel things happening around you in the atmosphere. What if we learn just to accept it, not to be critical, not to wish we could change it or fix it or modify it, just be ready to accept it. Try living that way in the coming days and see how it changes your outlook. Namaste.